live on YouTube, live on Facebook, and we are here to answer the questions of the people and help out a few folks. Every time we do these, I always get an email afterwards thanking me, so I gotta keep going. I gotta keep doing them because they seem to be helping some people. So if you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to ask whenever you like. Feel free to ask as many as you like, because we won't stop until you guys run out of questions, until we run out of questions. So my followers on YouTube, the same thing goes for you guys. All right, first things first, I want to talk about separation anxiety, because it seems to be what a lot of cheers, Burnett, what a lot of the dogs that I'm working with now are dealing with. So it's a general kind of subject, and so I'll talk about that. First rule of thumb when it comes to separation anxiety. So say your dog tears up your household when you're gone, or tears up the crate, or busts out of the crate, or pees and poops while you're gone, just does things it's not supposed to. So first thing that I would try and focus on, again, the dog's overall obedience is going to be important to take into account. You don't, most of the time when you're dealing with separation anxiety, it's not the reason why they're doing it isn't just because you're gone. The reason why they think it's okay to do those misbehaved sort of things isn't just because you're gone. You may have to reevaluate their whole sort of life and or how you deal with them on a day-to-day basis. So I'll just get into one of the biggest things that you can do for separation anxiety is also reteach your dog how to act inside the home. The dog should be, if your dog has separation anxiety, one of the things that I would do is start to keep him more calm in in the inside. Take away a lot of what the dog thinks is okay to do in the house, right? So first thing that comes to mind is don't allow the dog to give him more boundaries in the house. So say if you're cooking in the kitchen, just say, keep your dog out of the kitchen. If your dog goes to the door every time you go up to the door, try and fix that. Give the dog more boundaries in the house. You can even, keep him off the furniture for a while to help with separation anxiety. Separation anxiety has to do with dogs that don't know what to do when they become anxious. And so you can help that when you're home. You can help that by teaching them how to be calm on their own. Basically teaching them how to do nothing, and that would help with the overall anxiety. How many times or where in the dog's life can you get them to a calm state of mind? If you still are dealing with behavior problems, then you have to work on that more. You have to have more time where he is asked by you, not him volunteering to be calm, but him you telling him to go be calm. So if you have a dog that's anxious in any area, spending time getting him into a calm state of mind more often is going to help with anything else, more than anything else. All right, so that's just kind of like a general thing that's going to help, because I do have dogs that it's not just separation anxiety. Yes, that's the biggest, most challenge that they're dealing with, but at the same time You know, they're not listening very well on the, you know, in just in general, right? They feel like they're being pushy in certain areas and stuff like that. So you have to also evaluate that, because everything matters. Okay, everything matters. How pushy can the dog be outside of the crate with you, interacting any day, every day, is going to dictate and have something to do with how he can improve his separation anxiety. I truly believe that. So an obedience dog, on all of the aspects of their life, is going to be a better dog that knows how to deal with separation anxiety. Why? Because they've been taught how to be calm by you. They've been taught that a calm mindset can get them places too. That's the other thing. You know, it should be our goal to help our dogs see that being calm gets you a lot more things than not being calm. So, but rule number one, after you've kind of done a general evaluation of everyday interaction with your dog, is to make sure when you come home and your dog is meeting you at the door, or say your dog is in the crate, to get him to a place of calm mindset right there. That's very important for dogs who have separation anxiety, because when you come home and make the dog super excited, it's happy. I mean, it's a cool thing. It's you know, it's makes you feel good and all that, but you're also feeding into that anxiety when you celebrate that you've been gone and you're so happy to see them after a long day's work. You know, which is a tough one for a lot of people, but it definitely helps with separation anxiety. It helps with door charging. It helps with barking. It helps with jumping. That's a big one. Any kind of, you know, misbehaved sort of thing that you experience with your dog coming through the door, or people coming through the door, can be helped if we start to reward the calm mindset. But that takes work. All right, so again, when you first come into the door, when you come home from work and you come into the door, you must ignore your dog until they, not ignore your dog. I say, don't positively talk to them, right? Or don't praise them in any way, and don't give them what they're looking for. What are they looking for? Your attention. They're looking to get out of the crate. Your affection. They're looking to go outside, maybe even a treat, things like that. But if you go ahead and do that, you give that stuff to him while the dog is jumpy, pushy, super excited, even barking, then you're just going to reinforce that behavior. You're just going to tell the dog, the dog's saying, well, that worked for me. Let me try that again. All right, so my advice would be to tell the dog to go lay down, or don't let the dog outside of the crate until the dog is completely quiet. You shouldn't be able to hear the dog whatsoever. Okay, so if you guys have any questions about what I just said, or any questions about separation anxiety, you can definitely chime in. Otherwise, I'm going to answer some questions on social media. But for those of you who are having a drink with me, cheers. All right. Hello, my brother just moved in with her girlfriend. He has an 11-year-old dog. She has a 3-year-old dog. They hate each other. They called a trainer. He said keep them separated and slowly bring them together short periods at a time, and both on leash. So far, not working. Now they live in a big house with gates everywhere to keep them separated. Any advice? Well, that's not terrible advice. That's not terrible advice. I would let them get to know each other sort of away from your home and um, in a field and not on leash. Um, you know, they're probably, if they're fighting, they're probably fighting for your attention or his attention. Um, they're probably fighting because they're just kind of jealous of each other, something like that. So they need to, the first thing you need to do is see if you can, keep them calm around each other. Calm time is the best type of time. But this is what I would do. If they don't have a dog aggression history, both of them, then I would literally probably take them to a big old field, a nice secluded field, take them both off leash, and just walk the perimeter of the field. And then not say hi to both dogs, not touch both dogs. Just continue to walk for a good 30 minutes or something like that. But no stopping, just continue to walk and allow them to kind of get to know each other on their own terms. And if one wants to get away from the other, they can do that, vice versa. So that's something I would do. You could even, if you want to be cautious, you could let them drag a leash, not you holding it, but you drag a leash so that if they do decide to get messy, you can pull them apart safely. But yeah, they gotta establish a good relationship. Have something in your hand, like you can buy something that makes a little noise or something that will make them, break the fight up if they do decide to fight. There's like those air cans that go, or there's like pet correctors that you can get that would help. But they have to establish a good relationship, and the more time you take, the better. So, when a trainer says slowly, to me that means months. I would keep them separate for if they were brand new inside the house. I would keep them separate for about 3 weeks, and then slowly introduce them to each other, like I just told you. Because you have all the time in the world, so take your time. Thank you for your question. Okay, let's see. Let me bring up that question, Jen. I'll be right with you. My dogs are knocked out right now. They are knocked out. Okay. Let's see. My personal dog now is bratty and tries to correct insecure dogs if she doesn't know them. In general, she's more entitled than she used to be. Time to get rid of the couch, time, and affection for no reason, for sure. Other suggestions? Yeah, I would correct her for, any unwarranted corrections that she would give to other dogs. I always evaluate corrections, though. Some of them can be helpful to other dogs, but if she's being sort of, just a butthole about it, then yeah, I would definitely correct her. But if it's warranted, say if another dog tries to hump her or another dog's being too pushy with her and she corrects that dog, then I would be like, well, that's teaching. That's a teaching moment. So, yeah, I would do what you suggested, but I would also just kind of correct her for trying to correct other dogs if she's just trying to be controlling. All right. I hope that helps. Thanks for your question, Jen. I got to get down there for another seminar soon. It's been a while. It's been a while. All right. Next question. Let's see where we're at here. Okay. What is the best? No, that's not a good one. How do you deal with a 3-year-old rescue Cocker Spaniel who is very aggressive to other dogs, like on walks in dog parks? Good question. 3-year-old Cocker Spaniel who's very aggressive to other dogs. Well, I would say, so what I would do if the dog came to my place would be, if the dog is very aggressive towards other dogs, I would correct the aggressive behavior. And one of the things that you can do is use a good quality e-collar and corrector on low level. I've been doing that lately with the dogs that I have been training. Just a nice little gentle tap on the shoulder with the e-collar to keep them to break their mindset. So you just have to have someone who can intervene in those aggressive moments and help the dog rethink its choices, so that the dog knows that that behavior is not okay. Then it offers up, or it gives you a different behavior. Maybe it'll go into avoidance for a while. But on walks, for sure, you got to just add more structure to the walk. And I wouldn't worry too much about dog parks yet. Until maybe you get some good results on the walk, then you could try the dog park again. I mean, I really not crazy about them in the first place, but that's where dogs go to get aggressive too. So keep that in mind. But if you have a nice little neighborhood dog park and you kind of know some of the locals and their dogs, and there's not dogs there that are being really obnoxious, then I could be all right with the dog park. But yeah, the dog just has to, first of all, make sure you're bringing the dog around, balanced dogs. And then if you are doing that and the dog decides to get aggressive with those balanced dogs, then that behavior definitely has to be corrected. So there's many ways that you can go about it, but an easy way is I would definitely maybe think about getting in touch with a professional dog trainer to let you know how to use that e-collar in a very advantageous way, so that you can have a dog that can be more social with other dogs. But as far as the walk goes, you'll have to add more structure to that walk so that the dog doesn't react towards other dogs. Start with that, and I think you'll be headed in the right direction. All right, thank you for your question. Feel free to ask another one. All right, folks, we got a few more followers on YouTube. This is a dog training Q&A. My name is Jeremy from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Feel free to ask any dog training question you like. Nothing's off limits. And feel free to ask more than one question as well. All right. How would you introduce a fear-aggressive Corso to a hyper Belgian Malinois? Woo, that's going to be tough. Just in the fact that the Belgian Malinois is, like you said, hyper, and Corsos are known to sort of be fearful, aloof. So definitely have to, I would say, this is what something you could do. I would make sure you can keep the Belgian Malinois somewhat calm. You might have to give him some treadmill time or take him on a long walk before you introduce dogs to dogs, and that's not a bad idea. Drain their energy, but depending on how bad your Corso is, you know, if he's just fear aggressive of dogs, sort of being intrusive of their of his space, versus him seeing a dog and going after the other dog, you may have, you know, can approach that differently, right? So if I have a dog that's just scared of dogs and is hiding in a corner, I can have, you know, one dog on leash and then allow the fearful dog to come up when it wants and go away when it wants. Because the thing is, you know, some dogs, again, may be afraid of too much pressure coming from that unknown dog, which is why they act out. And so, you know, if this is your scenario, if you have that Corso that's kind of just more scared than scared and aggressive, then you may be able to take it that way. But when socializing two dogs, I would say keep them in a relatively small space, which means 30 by 30, 30 yards by 30 yards. Not a real big yard, but only because you can kind of step in and intervene when you want. Hi, Pat. How are you? You can kind of step in when you want. Now, you can also, again, have some tools that will help, you know, break up a potential fight. One of the easiest, best tools is a dressage whip. You can get that at wherever they have like horse supplies. And I usually just kind of whip their ankles and feet. You know, no pain at all whatsoever, but it breaks that mindset, and that's what you need. It's kind of acting as an extension of your arm. One of the best tools for safe socialization is that. So that's just about it. I mean, if you want more help, you know, I would definitely see a professional dog trainer, because that's kind of depending on how aggressive your Corso is, and how hyper your Belgian Malinois is, you know, you may need some professional help. So thank you for your question. All right, moving right along, folks. I think this is the last one before Christmas, isn't it? What's next Thursday? Next week. I should have one next week. Mm-hmm. Is tug of war a bad idea for human aggressive dog? No. Because we have to define what human aggressive is first. Is he human aggressive with you, or is he human aggressive with strangers? Because there's a big difference. And that if he's human aggressive towards strangers, then strangers shouldn't be playing tug of war, sure. But if he's not human aggressive towards you, then you should be able to play a tug of war with your dog. Just because the dog is human aggressive, okay, so just because the dog is human aggressive with strangers doesn't mean he's going to be aggressive with you necessarily. You are the one that has the relationship with the dog, so you should be able to do that. But it does sort of speak to the relationship if your dog is human aggressive towards other people. You may have to teach him some things yet, so that he can get over the fear of strangers that he has. But when you play tug of war, it's very important that you dictate when you start and when you stop, and you should be able to stop it at any time, not sort of allow him to be the dominant one in the game. And what I mean by that is, you know, when I play tug of war with my dogs and I say release, drop it, out, or whatever, then they do that right away. You know, I think when you are playing tug of war, there are dogs that can be dominant to the point where they do think it's okay to get aggressive with the handler. And once they are more familiar with strangers and whatnot, then that kind of goes away. Now listen, that's not to say I have not played tug of war with human aggressive dogs, because I have. Because that is a way of building a relationship with a human aggressive dog. You have to know what you're doing, and you have to have help. But you can play tug of war with a human aggressive dog, or I guess I would say someone that's used to doing bite work. When you do bite work, you don't just deal with non-human aggressive dogs. Some of those dogs are human aggressive, but you have a good handler on the other end of the leash, and you can actually get dogs to be more social with strangers by playing the tug of war game. So, what's up, Justin? So yeah, we'll teach you. I forgot you. We'll teach you how to get that done. But thanks for your question, man. Okay. Let's see. No problem. All right, I think I'm done with my social media question. You guys watching on YouTube, ask a question if you have one. Otherwise, we are... Oh, I got a question that just came in. Let's see. Rescued a 6-week-old female puppy. How do I introduce her to Moose and Lily? 6 weeks. Good Lord. All right. Well, I keep them separate for a while. Wouldn't worry about that. 6 weeks is just it's kind of young, you know. Wait. I would even wait for a good month or so. You know, just I'd keep them separate. What you don't want, again, is to start off a relationship in a bad way. This is just covering all your bases. Not to say that this would happen with your dogs, because I don't know them quite well enough. But if this was my pack, and this is what I did when I brought home my 8-week-old puppy, was I didn't introduce him until a month. Right? Meanwhile, my older dogs were kind of getting used to the puppy from a distance. It wasn't just, here's a puppy and here you go. I waited, I took my time, because I know puppies are going to be obnoxious. And again, what you don't want is just to allow your puppy to be obnoxious to your older dogs. When they're first building a relationship, it's just going to make the relationship bad from the beginning, from the get-go. So you just want to take your time with it. You got all the time in the world. Take it very slow. Maybe introduce one at a time. Keep dogs as calm as possible. And when your dogs start to become indifferent to the puppy, that's when you can probably take the next step, whatever that may be. So that's what I would do. I just answered your question live. I seen you send me a question in the messenger. I hope you heard it. It's about your 6-week-old puppy. Slow. Wait for a month. Yeah, I saw it. I saw that. I just answered your question. I'll answer it again real quick. But basically what I said was, give it about a month. Keep them separate. That's all right. I'm about to tell you right now. Keep them separate for about a month, right? Because the 6-week-old puppy may be obnoxious, and the older dogs may not like it. You know, let your dogs get to know them from a distance. BJ just tried to call me. Let your dogs get to know you from a distance, or get to know the puppy from a distance, right? Smelling, seeing, but not really having that unwanted puppy pressure in their face. You know, that shouldn't be the first interaction. And then just take your time. Wait until your dogs are totally indifferent to the puppy, and that may take some time, you know. But yeah, I would take my time with that introduction to ensure a smooth start and a good start to their relationship. Okay, but And then also keep a leash on the 8-week-old puppy so you can take that pressure away from, you know, your older dogs. If thank you. If he becomes obnoxious or she becomes obnoxious to the other dogs, drag a leash. Okay. Thank you for your question. All right. Let's see. Justin says, "What's your favorite game to play with your dogs?" I like to play Go Find It right now. Kind of trying to teach one of my dogs to pheasant hunt, and so I'm really trying to teach him sort of the techniques of, you know, I throw something in the bushes and he waits for me to release him, and then he goes and finds it and brings it back. But I want to keep him close to me so that, like, when we're moving in a field, I want him to stay close to me within like 20, 30 yards. And I want him to kind of search from side to side. So I'll put balls in a big field from side to side like that, and then trying to get him to, it's kind of like simulating a bird, but I don't have a bird, and maybe I should get a fake one. But so he grabs the ball, brings it back to me. I put my ball in the thing. I send him out and try and find another one. And then I say, "Go find it." And he finds the other ball and brings it back, and so on and so forth. But as far as games, I like playing tug of war. That's a really good one for me. I've done bite work with 2 of them. Yeah, they're all pit bulls. They're all just pit bull terriers. So one of them just has really strong prey drive. The other one, not so much. But one of them can do any job I ask him to do. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, anywho, I think that's it, guys. I mean, I think I don't have any more questions on social media. So if you guys don't have any final questions, we're gonna get out of here. I gotta show you the before I go though. I gotta show you the progression of my neighbor's yard, because I promised you I would. Because he is, what do they call him? The Griswold of the neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Yep. Check it out. Okay, can y'all see that? Not so much. Maybe I'll get up, see if I can get a better view. Oh, that's my tree in the reflection. There we go. That's kind of better. This guy takes hours and hours and hours and hours. He's not done yet either. He's not even close to being done. But I can't wait till he gets the reindeer on the roof, man. Those are the best. But he's got that big old arch going. That wasn't there last week. And then he's got like that big old there's like a big old reindeer on the other side, like right over there somewhere. Anyway, sorry guys. But anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys watching. We'll be here next time. We'll be here before Christmas. Yeah, next Thursday. So come with your questions. Thank you guys for watching. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace. Whoa.